Judy Cook Woman of Achievement Award. The Judy Cook Woman of Achievement Award was established by the Manitoba Federation of Labour and first awarded in 2000. It is an award meant to honor the memory of Sister Judy Cook by recognizing her dedication, commitment, and significant contributions to the women's movement, her community, and to the labor movement as a whole. Sister Cook was born in St. Louis, Missouri, becoming a dedicated activist during the 1960s, a part of the American Civil Rights Movement. In the 1970s, Sister Cook relocated to Winnipeg, where she continued her activism as the Director of Volunteer Services at Clinic Community Health Center. True to her union roots, the first thing Sister Cook did was organize her co-workers into a union, the Canadian Union of Public Employees. Sister Cook was named Executive Director of the Manitoba Federation of Labour Occupational Health Center in 1985 and steered it through many challenging times until her death in 1998. Past recipients of the Judy Cook Woman of Achievement Award include 2000, Sister Shirley Lord; 2003, Sister Darlene Jevitz; 2006, Sister Lorraine Sigurdsson; 2009, Sister Margaret Day; 2012, Sister Mary Johnson.
I am very pleased to tell you that at this year's convention, the Judy Cook Women of Achievement Award is being presented to Sister Heather Grand Jury. Volunteer and advocate for women's rights for more than 25 years. When Heather became active in the union movement, it was as a member of the Canadian Union of Public Employees. She learned her lessons well, becoming the youngest president of the Winnipeg Labour Council and the only woman to hold that post to date. She served in that office for 18 years, establishing its first women's committee and serving on the MFL Women's Committee. In addition, Sister Grand Jury was a key mover behind the establishment of the Safe Workers of Tomorrow Health and Safety Program, specifically aimed at providing high school students with important health and safety information before entering the paid workforce. Sister Grand Jury joined the FCW Training Center as its director in 2004, and we're very fortunate about that, building it into the dynamic union education center that it is today. As such, Heather is a member of the United Steelworkers Local 9074. Sister Heather has brought hard work, dedication, and solidarity to all of her projects within the union movement and as an NDP political activist. She has improved the lives of working people, sisters, union members, and their families, and there is no one more deserving of the Judy Cook Women of Achievement Award than Sister Heather.
Now I'm shaking. Thank you so much to my nominators. I'm still trying to figure out who they were, but I will find out and we'll speak later. Thank you to the Women's Committee and to the MFL. Again, as many of you know, being a part of this movement, and it truly has always been a movement for me, a movement that I started when I was 17 years old, got involved in my QP local at a nursing home. Did like many of you did, got invited to dinner one night. It happened to be at the old Union Center downtown in Winnipeg, and we had a union meeting that night, and upstairs we went, and no clue what the heck a union was, and was elected a shop steward, and I said, what the hell's a shop steward? After I got elected to that position, and sort of life took on a path for me that I have never regretted 1 minute. This was obviously, for many of us, as we finished high school, we had career options and plans, and I was bound and determined I was going to be a nurse or some other thing that my mother and father thought I was heading into. Never did I think that I would spend the majority of my life working in the trade union movement. It has been an incredibly rewarding experience for me, and to accept this award on behalf of Judy Cook is even more special. To many of you in the room, you might not have known Judy. I had the great opportunity to know her, to mentor under her, to follow her leadership. She was a woman, as already mentioned, that grew up in St. Louis and would tell you stories that would absolutely curl your hair about working people went through in the States, about some of the issues that were coming to Canada, and sure as heck, here they are, many of them in front of us today. She was a proud trade unionist, she was a proud feminist, she was a proud NDPer, and she was the one that, again, as I got involved and took on the position of Labour Council President at a very young age, and again, it was one of those where you got elected, and I said to myself the next morning, I have no freaking clue what I just did, but I'm going down to the Union Center, and that's my new job, and off we went for 18 years. It was an incredible opportunity. But it was Judy that always stopped in my office and said, Heather, you get thick skin. Okay, I got thick skin, and you get up and you speak, and you take on that mayor, and you take on those men in the labor movement. Remember, this was mid-80s, and as we learned, there was not a lot of sisters to follow. So I spent and I learned off the mentoring of her and many other women, and I must say many other men as well, who supported me and supported many women getting involved in this movement. And I still say to this day that one of my biggest roles is to make sure that I mentor others to come behind me. I've had an incredible opportunity for the 18 years of the Labour Council to do that. I've always believed and felt that my role was to, again, hook up that mentor, find that buddy system. If I was going to a rally, somebody was coming with me. If I was going to knock on doors, somebody was coming with me. And I have to tell you the story because the first time I campaigned for the NDP was with Judy. And if you know Judy, Judy didn't walk. And Judy didn't run, Judy strode. I mean, she had long legs. She would come from the back of the room to the front of the room with 5 or 6 steps. And if she was on a mission, holy smokes, get the heck out of her way. She came with an infectious laugh. She came with a really bright smile. So off we went to knock on doors. And she's probably 7 houses ahead of me, and I'm trying to catch up and learn my spiel, and you're new at this. So the first door I knocked on, everything was great. About the second or third door, some guy says to me, "You communist," and slams the door in my face. Well, I was done. I'm going back to my vehicle. This is not for me. What do you mean I'm a communist? I'm just here on behalf of the NDP. And again, I can remember her words like they were yesterday. You get back to that door, and you're going to hear that over and over again, and it really doesn't matter. We're going to get this NDP elected. And we did. So you learn by others. You learn by the mentoring that people have given to probably each and every one of us in the room. And for me, it's just so gratifying to see so many sisters here. I know people over the last couple of days have said, you know, you speak so well. I never used to speak so well, and I'm really not speaking well today. My frickin' knees are knocking. But the key is, as I've always said to people, if your stomach is in knots and your knees are knocking, stand behind a podium, hold on to something. Nobody else will frickin' see it. As long as you can speak passionately, just get up and speak. And I still encourage that to this day. So I just want to thank all of us in the room. We have an important role to play. You don't do this job for awards. You do it because we mean it. You do it because we're making a difference in people's lives every single day, and we'll continue to do that. So thank you. I finally just want to say, this is where I'm going to get teary. Don't. What was that? Thank you. Get tough. Thick skin. Okay, I got it. Thank you to my husband Dale, who is home working, who has always believed in what I do. It doesn't matter what meeting I go to, never ask a question about what it is, where I'm going, when I'm going to be back, knows it's just part of who I am, and it's probably best not to ask me. And secondly, to our daughter Shayla, who was born in 2000, she turns 50 next month. She was born in June, and I was standing here at an MFL convention in September with her in her carrier, getting passed up and down the rows. There was actually a couple of times as a mother I panicked because I didn't know where she was or who had her, except that I had a role to play at convention. As long as she was looked after, she was okay. She actually said to me a week ago, "Mom, will you be really disappointed if I get my first job in retail?" Didn't know where she was going. I said, "No. Why would I be upset about getting a job in retail? That's where lots of young girls want to start. You take your check, you buy the clothes, you bring none of your money home. I get all that." And she said, "Well, I thought you'd be mad because retail's really not unionized." And you know, it just goes to the soul of what I am. It goes to the soul of knowing that I'm going to raise her probably to sit in this hall someday and be the next trade union leader. And if all of us can do that and bring along the next generation, this movement is in really good shape. So thank you to the Labour Council, to all of you.